Hi everyone, today I finally have a new book review for you lot. I'm really excited to do this one. It is on The Woman in Black by Susan Hill. This is a book that I had to read for English at school, and I'm just going to tell you what it's about and then get on to my ratings. So it's basically a gothic horror kind of style novel, and it's not normally the kind of thing I would read, so it was really intriguing for me actually. It starts off with the main character of Arthur Kipps, who is a solicitor, currently lives in London, and he visits the funeral of an elderly old woman called Mrs. Drablow. And she's been living alone at Ilmarsh House for quite a long time now, and she passed away there. It's at this point when Arthur gets his first sighting of the Woman in Black and begins to really feel mysterious things happening, and he's very intrigued by all this and quite creeped out as well actually. He then visits Ilmarsh House again and gets another sighting of the Woman in Black, and this time he also hears sounds. Kind of creeps him out, and that is generally where the plot takes off. Not going to reveal too much, otherwise it might spoil it. I'm going to give the characters a 4 out of 5. I found these very intriguing. They were very interesting and enjoyable to read about. They all had very different personalities, making it even more exciting. I really found the main character of Arthur Kipps was very likeable and interesting to read about. You really empathise with him because it was from his point of view as well. It really gave his side of the story. I think that really worked very well with how it was all brought across. I really liked his innocence as well. That really added to his character. You've also got the Woman in Black. She is very creepy and very scary. She's brought across in such a vivid way actually. It's very interesting to read about her, and she's got a lot of backstory to her as well. Sometimes the side characters don't have much development. They could be developed a bit further. I sometimes mix up with who is who. Quite a lot of people to keep up with, and they're not very memorable, so maybe more work on the side characters is needed. The plot's going to get a 3.5 out of 5, and I think it's really hard one to rate, to be honest, because there's a lot of different aspects to the plot, a lot of good, a lot of bad, so it's kind of hard to get a general overview. I think the parts that are very good are very intense, they're very enjoyable to read, they really keep you hooked and involved as a reader, and that is definitely an important thing. I really started to question what was happening and what could happen in the future, but then there are other bits which are not like that, and they're very dull and very bland. More is needed at them points, and probably more action or something. They're very draggy. They drag on for a long time. But I think, the good scenes were very good, so I think it's still quite a good one. So I think that really ups my rating from a 3 to a 3.5. It isn't outstanding, but it's still quite a good plot. I'm going to give the writing a 3.5 out of 5 as well. It's actually a very good style. There are a lot of very good descriptions in there. I think it's very vivid, very atmospheric. But the only problem I fall into is that it's overdone at times. I think there is just too much description that really overpowers everything else, and not all of it is necessary, not all of it is necessarily needed. Because I think it kind of spoils it, because some of the descriptions are really good, but there's just too much of it, and it feels like there doesn't need to be that much. It can get a little bit rambly, if I'm going to be honest, and that isn't a good thing. That sort of adds to the less interest, I suppose. I just went into completely different minds and thought about completely different things not related to the book. This isn't a good thing. Obviously, I'm meant to be enjoying the book and taking everything in. I did keep coming back to the book and questioning what actually happened and forgetting things. So sometimes the writing style I think is overdone, but the reason why I'm giving it a 3.5 is because it's good on its own if it wasn't overdone. Kind of hard to explain, kind of hard to rate. And I know I did say that the side characters need a little bit more development, but I'm really talking about overdone as in the setting and general description, not character development. I think there needs to be more character development as opposed to setting description, if that makes sense. I just wanted to make that point a little bit clearer. And now onto the enjoyment. That is going to get a 3 out of 5. That is my lowest rating because I'm going generally by the whole book as a whole, what I actually feel. It was an okay read, but it comes across as very average. There are a lot of both positive points and negative points. They really balance out. It has potential to be very good, but I don't think it was all brought across in the ways that it could have been. I think it was very inconsistent because at some points it really grabbed my attention. At other points I didn't even want to pick the book up. I'm going to read it a few more times before the exam so I can get a better picture. I don't really mind reading it because it's quite a short book, and I suppose as I learn more about it I enjoy it more as well. But for me it's definitely still getting a 3 out of 5 for enjoyment. It's not really an enjoyable read that you would really start gushing about and going crazy about. As you can probably tell, I'm not. gushy today. So to calculate our mean average, I believe we get 3.5 out of 5, so that is just everything put together and worked out as an average. It could have been better, but I still think parts were enjoyable, parts were not. It was very inconsistent, like I said. It is a different genre that I'm not used to reading though, so maybe that is based on my rating as well. I might not be enjoying it as much because of that. I'm not really into the horror genre much. I'm not sure if this is a really, I'm not sure. Some people say it's not a full horror book. It's brought across in a very subtle style, but I don't know, maybe it's not the kind of thing that I'm used to. But anyway, thank you for watching. Don't forget to comment, rate, share and subscribe. Tell me what you think in the comments below if you've got anything to say, anything about the book. See you all again later.